Hello fans, Chad DiMera's final chapter, Death in Salem or a New Beginning? Exploring the dramatic exit from Days of Our Lives. For longtime fans of Days of Our Lives, few names have stirred up the same combination of loyalty, love, and heartbreak quite like Chad DiMera. Portrayed masterfully by Billy Flynn since 2014, Chad has become a pillar in Salem, a man who has seen it all, from devastating losses to heart-stopping reunions. But now the end is near. After more than a decade in the role, Billy Flynn is leaving the iconic daytime drama, and with that, we are preparing to say goodbye to Chad DiMera, perhaps forever. But this isn't just a simple case of an actor walking away. This is Days of Our Lives. We're talking about a soap where death doesn't always mean forever, where twists come faster than the weather in April, and where characters are reborn, recast, or resurrected with shocking frequency. So what does Chad's exit really mean? Is this a final farewell? Or is it the setup for one of Salem's biggest twists in years? Let's dive into the swirling rumors, the emotional buildup, and the very real possibility that Chad DiMera will die, and what that could mean for the show, the characters, and the viewers who've watched him grow from a rebellious teen to a heartbroken widower and then to a loyal father and businessman. The shocking exit of Billy Flynn. A soap opera earthquake when the news broke that Billy Flynn was leaving Days of Our Lives. Longtime fans were stunned. Flynn is not just a popular actor, he is Chad DiMera. His layered portrayal gave depth to a character who could have easily become just another spoiled DiMera brat. Instead, he brought nuance, warmth, and vulnerability, especially in his on-screen relationships with Abigail Devereaux, played by both Kate Monsey and Marcy Miller, and his children. His departure is a blow to the show, no doubt, but also a tantalizing opportunity. The writers now face a difficult decision. How do you say goodbye to a legacy character in a way that honors their journey, shakes up the canvas, and still leaves a door open? Because in Salem, doors are never really closed. Death, departure, or disappearance. The Chad DiMera exit possibilities with Billy Flynn set to leave Days, and the show filming nearly a year in advance. Fans can expect to see Chad on screen until early 2026. That gives the writers time to prepare for a dramatic exit. But what will it look like? Let's look at the most likely options, and the emotional toll each one could take. 1. Chad DiMera dies. A tragic end at the hands of Clyde Weston? Death is a very real possibility. Clyde Weston, played by the ever-menacing James Reed, is still lurking around the edges of the canvas. Even though he's in a coma for now, fans know better than to believe he's out of the game. This man has caused chaos for years, from drug dealing to manipulation to murder. If anyone is capable of killing Chad, it's Clyde. Rumors suggest Clyde might soon awaken and continue his reign of terror. And unfortunately, that could mean Chad's days are numbered. If the writers want to shock the audience and give Chad a heroic, tragic end, having him fall victim to Clyde would be a fitting, if gut-wrenching, conclusion. Imagine the drama. Chad trying to protect his children. Chad confronting Clyde one last time. A final act of bravery that ends in blood. It would break hearts. It would stir outrage. But most of all, it would create must-watch television. And, of course, in true DiMera fashion, death doesn't have to be permanent. Ajay was dead for years. Stefano came back how many times? Even if Chad's body goes cold, the character may return someday. Perhaps with a new face or in flashbacks, or from the grave itself. Still, the very thought is enough to bring tears to the eyes of longtime viewers. 2. A hero's goodbye. Chad leaves town on his own terms if the show doesn't want to kill Chad, or if they want to leave the door open for Billy Flynn's possible return, they could write him off in a less violent way. Maybe Chad takes his children and leaves Salem to escape the endless cycle of violence and betrayal. Maybe he receives a job offer abroad. Or maybe he realizes that staying in Salem only brings pain, the ghost of Abigail still haunting him, the memory of every loss lingering on every street corner. This kind of exit could be bittersweet. He gets a quiet farewell, a montage of memories, some tender goodbyes. It could also set the stage for a recast down the road, with a new Chad returning years later. But does a simple exit carry enough emotional weight for a character as central as Chad? 3. Rebirth, recasting, or redemption? The wild card option. There's also the wild card the option Days has used countless times before. Kill him off now and bring him back later. We've seen it with EJ. We've seen it with Will Horton. We've seen it with Stefano, Kristen, and even Marlena. If the writers want a truly shocking twist, they might let Clyde kill Chad, only for him to reappear months or years later, possibly recast, possibly with amnesia, or perhaps working undercover. The beauty of soap operas is that no story is ever truly over. The idea of Chad being taken by the DiMera enemies, presumed dead, and returning later as a hardened, changed man has all the ingredients of a ratings smash. Romance, rivalry, and fallout. How Chad's exit will rock Salem. No matter how Chad leaves, one thing is certain: Salem will never be the same. His relationships have been core to the show's heartbeat. The brewing triangle between Chad, Kat Green, played by Annalyn McCord, and EJ DiMera, Dan Feuerriegel, hints at romantic chaos. If Chad dies, will Kat move on with EJ? Will EJ carry guilt or resentment? Could a love triangle become a love story rewritten by tragedy? And what about his children? What will Thomas and Charlotte do without their father? How will the Devereaux and DiMera families cope with the loss of one of their own? Chad's exit isn't just a character leaving. It's a massive story shift that will ripple across the canvas for years to come. Confirmed, Chad DiMera will die in a shocking and tragic exit on Days of Our Lives. After weeks of speculation, it has now been officially confirmed. The writers of Days of Our Lives have made the bold decision to kill off the beloved character Chad DiMera in one of the most shocking and emotionally devastating storylines the show has seen in years. This isn't just another twist, it's a calculated move by the creative team to deliver maximum drama and boost the show's ratings with a jaw-dropping exit that fans will not soon forget. Chad's death will not be subtle, nor will it be off-screen. It is set to unfold in an explosive, heartbreaking sequence that will leave Salem reeling and viewers in tears. Sources close to production have described the storyline as one of the most intense arcs we've written in a long time, designed specifically to stir conversation, provoke emotion, and reignite the passionate fanbase. Whether you've been watching for years or just a few months, this is the kind of moment that defines a soap opera generation. While the exact details of his death are being tightly guarded, it has been confirmed that Chad will meet a violent end, marking the conclusion of Billy Flynn's long and acclaimed run on the show. The writers are not holding back. This is not a quiet goodbye. This is a grand, tragic fall that will shake the core of the DiMera family and change the landscape of Salem. As for whether Chad will eventually return from the dead, as so many Days characters have before him, that remains unknown. For now, there is no word on a recast or resurrection. What we do know is this: Chad DiMera will die, and his departure will leave a permanent scar on Salem. His loss will be felt deeply, not only by the characters on screen, but by the millions of fans who have followed his journey for over a decade. In the world of Days of Our Lives, death is rarely the end. But this time, it just might be. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.